can't stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my call, don't disconnect. I will protect you from all the spam. I will be here. Don't use sad emotes, please. For one without nitro, you seem so strong. My moderating on the server will keep you safe and warm. The slow ping between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my DMs. Yes, you'll be in my DMs. From this day on, now and forevermore. Yes, you'll be in my DMs. No matter what the haters like to say. Yes, you'll be here, my DMs. In Second Life. Hey everybody, welcome to MachiniphobiC. I forgot the name of the podcast. This is episode 10. Oh shit, no, it's 11. Wait, is it 11? Wait,
That's
no, it's
episode
not.
10.
Gabriel Films is episode 10.
It is. He was
No,
episode 9.
Gabriel Films was episode 10.
Nick, we'll talk about
Okay.
this in the car.
Okay. Episode. Oh wait, you're right. It was episode 10. Okay, this is. This.
Oh, I
well,
was.
wow, the first time in. Stop your shitty soundboard, like seriously. No one finds it funny except for you, bitch. Anyway, welcome to episode 11 of MachiniphobiC, and we have not one, not we do have two. We have two guests, and they are husband and wife. So it's a couple. We should have done this episode in February for Valentine's Day. Oh well, that's silly now. Introduce yourself, wife.
I am Feorie Frimon, a resident in Second Life.
Okay, and introduce yourself, husband.
I'm Gonje Anton. I'm a resident in Second Life.
Okay, they're residents in Second Life. So, welcome. Oh, what?
That's what they call us, it's not players. People get really weird about like if you're like it's a
Oh.
game. So, resident. I have to represent,
Well, we'll be learning a lot about Second Life because me and Derelict are not players of Second Life.
Uh-oh.
So we'll be learning a lot because I've never played Second Life because I barely have one life. So.
Oh no.
So,
So,
you go on, Derelict. Okay, I'm shutting up.
did you have a kind of a pre-existing interest in filmmaking or storytelling prior to joining? Because I think I got on your site that you joined First Life around 2008, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Seems about right. Gosh, that's a long time. Yeah, we did. I've been there for maybe, I think it's like 12 or 14 years or something like
I was
that.
10.
I know. Oh, wow, I'm so old.
He might have been 10, but he has the mental age of 4. So just take that into account.
There you go. I'm what you call a sim builder in Second Life. So I build like environments for people to do things like role play in and stuff like that. There's a lot of like text-based role play in Second Life that, they'll make a visual element for you to kind of do it in, to stand around and talk in. And so I built regions that way. And Gonje here is a real life, has a lot of real life theater experience. So he has like set design experience. And so he would kind of tell me, this is what you should do. And then I would make it. And so it just sort of started there. And then with Second Life moving to like faster servers within like the last year or two, the ability to do machinima has really increased significantly. So here we are.
The whole process seems like a kind of a. It's gonna sound cringe, but not a marriage, but like kind of his experience overlapping with yours. Is that fair?
Um, I don't want to talk for him, but yeah, I would absolutely say so. He, if this was a real thing, if it was a real movie, he has the experience there. So we kind of did this like, well, what if we put those skills into Second Life? Because Second Life really has the same kind of abilities to provide like lights like a stage would, like a real life stage would, or you have control of how what the color of the sun is and what the clouds look like, and you have a lot of control about the types of sets that you could create. And so he has been for me a really big inspiration, because I would go, if this was a stage production, how would I do this? And he'd tell me, and sure enough, it always looks right with the lights when we go to film. What about you, Ganji?
I think there's two parts. There's the using Second Life as a medium for machinima and storytelling, and then the back side, of course, is the story and the world itself that has been in development. And so, a little like Fee said, some of my background is in theater and in film, and so I just kind of take some of that, and then her expertise in building in the Second Life medium. And then we just kind of mesh ideas, because some of the times I'm like, let's do this, this, and this. She's like, it can't do that, but we can do this. And I go, okay, we could do this, And then sometimes I'm like, what if we could do this? It'd be amazing. She's like, that's easy. And so it's just kind of interesting how in certain things in Second Life is really easy, and certain things are really difficult. And so it's using it as a medium is fascinating for two creatives like us.
If I'm not prying too much, Feorie, I'm just curious about if you're able to talk about what you do outside of Second Life. Just I'm curious how that would inform your work in Second Life, if it's related at all.
Yeah, so I come from a technology background. I teach people how to use computer programs. So that's why a lot of like my videos and stuff that you see are how-to videos, because that's kind of like what I do. And I genuinely like to do that kind of stuff. But as far as creatively, like in real life, I don't have a creative bone in my body. When I draw stick figures, like I can't dance. I can't do any of that stuff. But I like Second Life because I can kind of like use the pieces that all of these other really cool creative people have made and kind of piece them together to make something.
The impression I'm getting is that both of you kind of have skills that would complement the others. So when one of you would be very creatively focused, the other one of you has a very kind of a practical mindset about how things can be like, broken down and kind of, I don't know, that's what I'm getting from you, is that one of you has that kind of technological side and then one of you has that creative side. And it seems like it's a very there's like some kind of synchronicity, or there's some kind of rhythm that you both have when you produce content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say I agree with that. Oh, sorry, Gonti, go ahead. I was just gonna say you're the creative. I'm the non-creative.
Well, and I think that's where, there's such a balance with me and Fee. I mean, I could never do it without her on the technology side, and I don't know if she could do it without me on the story side. And so it is a synchronicity, a synergy that has to take place. And and when it's flowing, I'm sure you understand this. When it flows, it just really flows really well. And then sometimes it does bog down when the creative wall hits the technology wall, and you have to like make your work around that. I mean, I think it was just yesterday we were working on some of our future episodes, and I was like, and then we do this and this and this and this, and she's like, whoa, like cannot do that. And that's where you go, okay, so how do I maintain the story and then be able to work it into the technology that she's so fluent in?
Is there any kind of place in this kind of creativity, this kind of relationship between you, where you can almost reverse the roles a little bit and try out different things?
I can tackle that first
I
if you
think,
want me to, or you can go.
yeah, you go.
So a lot of the times the way it kind of works is like I come with story, we create scenes, the scripts, all that. I'm one of the voices currently. She's going to voice later with other characters, and then she kind of does the first, let's say the first beta of it, and then I come back on the even on like an edit side and tweak and add and change, and then she comes back after me after that layer, and that's where you start getting it all kind of come together. Because I don't know if you've worked on any type of machinima project, but sometimes you get so focused on what you've seen for so long, with filming, like shot after shot after shot, that you've seen the shot so much, you don't necessarily know what's not there. And so sometimes it takes a fresh pair of eyes that can pop in and go, hey, we need something right here or something right here. And I think between that balance, it ends up working out really well.
Yeah. And there's kind of like there's lots of people that are involved in the process, right? Like as each voice and stuff, but there's kind of like a little unsung hero in there too. And that would be our daughter, right? So we have a daughter who is, she's young-ish. She's within her early preteens, and we get to use her as that fresh set of eyes when we need it.
Mhm.
That's really, really great. When it's time, like we call it when it's ready for her, she'll watch. She's the first one to watch the episode, and she can give you like real good, honest feedback of like, I don't understand what happened, or what was this, or it was kind of weird when this thing happened. And, it's nice to sometimes get that raw feedback because, kids, they don't filter anything. They just let you have it. So,
I want
yeah.
Is she tough?
Is she tough? Oh yeah, she's pretty tough. So at some point she'll probably be a voice of a character in the series, at some point. But yeah, she's pretty tough. She lets me have it.
I wish my parents made machinima.
And she's done voice acting previous, so she kind of gets an idea of that portion, and she's done theater as well with us. So she has a good eye. She really does, and she's learning really young to film and to edit and to all those different things. So it's definitely a family process.
Yeah.
So it's a family machinima, not just a husband and wife. That's nice. That's kind of unique and cool.
We nerded up as a family.
If I showed my family my machinima, I would actually get my ass beat.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah.
I would actually get kicked out. I don't share anyone my machinimas that I know in real life. They just call me a loser.
No.
Yeah.
In one way, like obviously your work benefits from having a creative person, a very technical person, but obviously your daughter benefits as well because she has a creative person and a very technical person in the house. So she's getting the best of both worlds. Me and Flick haven't been so blessed to have any children. I don't have any children. Flick doesn't have any children that he knows about. So I was going to ask
mean,
that,
we're kind of a father-son relationship, like Diane. Like you.
I'm more like a caretaker and you're more like a patient. That's what the relationship is. Like, you're going around with your hard hat and your fucking, I don't know, in your bib, and I'm the one trailing after you half the time. But what I was going to say is, when you're making something, especially like a creative venture, and I want to extend this further than just machinima, but I guess if it's traditional film or an album or something, it's kind of like raising a child, because I'm not going to get crass, but you have to conceive an idea, and you can conceive it on your own or with someone else. You have to kind of walk through that development of something. And the way I always kind of like build up this analogy is that, you'll go through production, that'll be like you're carrying it for 9 months, and then, it comes out of the womb and whatever. But the way I see it is that when you're editing it and doing all the post-production stuff, that's you kind of raising it from birth through infancy. And then when you hit upload and it goes public, that's like the video, that's like the child's first day at school. And in some ways, the film no longer belongs to you, it belongs to the internet, and you just have to kind of see how it interacts with the world. So you have a very real example of that. So maybe you can just say if my example is totally worthless.
No, actually, I kind of agree with that because And I even think there's an interesting analogy there, like when it gets into that edit process, because sometimes the cool thing about Second Life is I can literally go back and get the scene again if I need it. So, with this Namara machinima that we're doing now, eventually when we have 21 minutes of footage, we'll go back and we'll put everything all together so you have like a full 21-minute episode. And I'm going to tweak some of the scenes because it is what it is. If you could go back and tweak some of your scenes, I bet you would too. But I'm going to tweak some of them. But so yeah, like I think that's true, because once you get into that edit process, it kind of has a mind of its own. Like you kind of have a plan for how you want the scene to look, but that might not be the footage that you're going to get, especially with Second Life. Like there's just some things you're not going to be able to get, and you have to come up with a different way to represent what it is that you're trying to show. And it is what it is, right? Like and once it's on the internet, it is like now it's alive and it has to go, So I agree with that in a way. What do you think, Ganji?
Well, I think it's important how we wear our hats, if that makes sense. Like, okay, I put the hat on as the creative director, and in this mode, it's all about the creativity. It's all about the story. It's all about making sure every nuance of foreshadowing is there for the eye. And then that's the artist that would probably never publish anything because they'll keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking.
Yep.
But then you have to put the producer hat on and go, the show must go on. We have a deadline. This is the product at this point, and I think putting those different hats on at different times is really important, because if it was just me on my own, I would be the artist that has a warehouse full of art that no one would ever see, because I would keep working on it. Where Fee really brings to the table, like, put your producer hat on. We have a deadline. Let's get the work done. And so it's a good balance to have those two mindsets to go, okay, we have a deadline. It is what it is. And even I do that with Fee when it comes to her editing. I go, okay, this is what it is. Like, you can tweak and tweak and tweak, but it's not going to make that much more difference. Let's hit the deadline. So
is she the perfectionist between the two of you?
No,
no,
he is.
I am.
Yeah, he absolutely
Oh.
is. I'm good at finding the piece that needs to go there, just because we've been married for a really long time. Like when he says it should look like this, I know how to get what it is that he's looking for. But like recently, we did this little video for a Second Life shopping event called Abnormality, where it was like this like spin-off Frankenstein, where it was like a lamb and a Frankenstein like dancing around and stuff. I'll have to show you guys sometimes. But like I saved my cut. Like this was like if I was gonna go and produce it myself and this was me, this was my cut. But what we actually put on the channel was his cut, because his cut was so much better than mine. So he's the perfectionist for sure.
Oh, I'm glad that you brought up Namara, because I'm getting so lost in the reason I forget to ask about Namara, because I wanted to talk about that for a while, and obviously, without giving the cat away, without spoiling anything, I'd love to know a little bit about the series. I'm sure the audience would as well.
You want me to handle that one, or you, or me, or
You
or
do
what?
it. You do it. You do it.
So the world has been built for over a decade. It started as kind of a homebrew RPG tabletop game. The world itself, and then with the emergence of Second Life and its looks and its ability to film and all those different things, we decided to take our story into the machinima realm once Second Life kind of hit that level of production quality. Because I mean, like, I'm not an animator. Like, I can't draw and create my own animation in machinima, but Second Life can really bring to life what we want. So as far as the show, like the series, I mean, we have quite a bit planned.
We were really heavily inspired by Critical Role. I don't know if you guys know, it's a tabletop like podcast that they do, and they kind of film it and put it on YouTube. And they like a animated like video, like an animated cartoon series came out of it, and so we were like, hey, like why don't we just do it in Second Life? We can't make an animated cartoon series of Namara, but we could totally, just produce one. And so
Well, yeah, and it's the one that they did is called Vox Machina. You can look it up on like Prime Video or whatever. Their animated version, and then the Namara series. There's different types of storytelling, but there's the storytelling where you learn about the world through the main character, and so that way, like especially in a fantasy setting, you're not just dumping so much information onto your audience that they're learning it as this other person is experiencing it. And so that's why we went with that Eastcade mindset of what if we took this person from like our world and dropped them into this world and go with that. And that way the audience can learn as the Namara learn.
Like a fish out of water kind of thing.
exactly. And overall, I think there'll be heavy anime elements. Like as a family, we all are we like anime. So there'll be like little anime jokes and stuff in there, as the series goes on. But yeah, that's the plan is and eventually, right now we're following Rami, and her experience as a Namara, but we're hoping that every episode you'll also get to see little blips of other Namara that have been dropped in this world and what's happening with them and kind of how all the story all comes together and plays together.
How many episodes are you producing?
I think we were planning 21 episodes for the first season.
Oh,
And each episode would be 21 minutes. Was that what we said?
Yeah,
Gonje?
21 to 22 minutes, and 24 episodes in season 1.
So these parts that we're releasing are just like, when I've got about 2 to 3 weeks worth of work done, I put it out so people can see it. Kind of like webtoons, how you'd release just a little bit and then I'll release the next part. And then once I have 21 minutes worth, I'll package it all as an episode and then I'll put it on the website.
the website? You mean you have your website?
Yeah, I have FiorieFrimon.com is where I keep most of my like Second Life podcast videos where like I film the Second Life mainland, and then Bay City Studios is the one that we're getting ready to launch here in the next week or two that will have like all of the world information about Namara and where you will see the full episodes when they come out and stuff like that.
Oh, I can't wait to check that out.
I know, I'm such a nerd. Like, who does all this stuff for their machinima? But me, this is what I do. This is what I do for fun.
Do either of you ever get anxiety about making stuff public, like when you work on a video for so long and upload it?
So not normally, but like I took a break and like I didn't watch the first episode, like the first or the second release of Namara, and I went back and watched it. And the second episode, I was like, because you know how it is when you go and you watch something that you've made. But I mean, so it is what it is, right? Like people mess up. I'm sure people will catch things. Maybe if a year from now, like I've got people that are going back and watching episodes and pointing out things that I didn't think about and stuff. Like that would be cool. What a cool problem to have.
I think that I think at first there was definitely some anxiety about like what if everyone hates the story? What if people don't like it? What if they think it's dumb? All those little things that nag in your brain. But I think that at some point I hit this point of like I want to share this story with the world. And even if it's one person that enjoys it, it's worth all of it because it's just something that's been in our family for so long that we get to share, and it's exciting to kind of see as it develops and as we get better at the production value too.
Yeah, we're getting better.
I guess at some stage we've all dealt with negative comments and stuff, and I haven't gone through your comment section, but I was going to ask if you have had any experience with that kind of stuff of getting negative feedback in your comments and how you deal with it.
Yeah. So I remember I was pretty regular. Yeah. Actually, I have gotten bullied pretty badly, mostly like in Second Life circles, which are pretty small. There's only about 60,000 people that use Second Life on any given day. So across the world. But like there's some pretty notorious haters out there that kind of hate everyone, and I've gotten some backlash from them sometimes. Um, and sometimes that can be kind of painful, right? Like if people are mean, but people are mean, right? Like it is what it is. And people are really mean when they're behind, like a fake name of an avatar. So
Yeah.
I try not to let it bother me. If I see like really nasty comments, like if people are like attacking my character and it's not fair, right? Like I'll just delete it. I just delete it and try not to let it bug me and just move on. Thankfully, I haven't been trolled super bad.
I have.
No, really? How was yours? What happened?
Someone trolled one of my heroes to quit my show, and it made me depressed.
Oh man, I bet that was awful.
Yeah, it was. Fuck you. Anyway. You can cut that out a bit, Derelict. um,
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not asking Derelict a question. So you can not answer this. So you can cut this out if you want. But did you two meet on Second Life?
No.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
We actually met LARPing. So yeah, live action
Yeah,
role playing.
I worked for the LARP as a writer and NPC and set builder and all those for the live action role play, and then she was a player and I was working for it, and that's how we met originally.
oh, that's amazing.
Yep.
Not worlds apart from Second Life in a way, because you do have a lot of role playing on Second Life as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, my first 10 years in Second Life was just role play. Like all I did was just go from one genre to another and tell stories and play Barbies and tell more stories.
You guys didn't meet in Second Life, but you did meet in First Life.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, I wanted to ask about like your influences and stuff, because when I was going through your content, I noticed like a lot of patterns and stuff. Like a lot of your content is very dance orientated. Like there's a lot of dancing sequences, and I guess I just want it. There's a lot of music. Is it musically influenced stuff? Is that something that we're going to get a lot of in Namara as the series goes on?
Ooh.
Well, I would say with Fee, music is huge, and so it definitely will be influenced in the series in the terms of Rami's specific storyline as a Namara. The
Not the
current Namara
dancing.
not the dancing, but more music will definitely be part of her storyline. But it's definitely an influence for sure.
So okay, so a lot of those dance a lot of that stuff that you see on that YouTube channel is me practicing. Like I could tell you like specifically like that video I was practicing this and this one I was practicing that. And dance videos are like cheater easy ways to get lots of movement from an avatar and like I can try to do something. And some of those are like a shopping event. They let me like promote their stuff. They gave me free stuff, and I used it to practice my machinima skills. So that's why you see a lot of dance stuff in there. But my favorite stuff that I've done is stuff that really isn't dance related. I like the stories. I kind of want you to feel like you're watching like an episode of CSI or something, you know?
Definitely, it's very cinematic stuff. Do you network with a lot of other people who do Second Life Machinima, or are you kind of in your own kind of lane?
So there is a group of people that meet on Mondays in Second Life called like Machinima Mondays. But it's just they kind of get together and they're like, "Hey, watch my stuff," and then we'll kind of like watch and. But I'm not super involved in that. I just go sometimes when I can because it's kind of in the middle of my workday. Um, but yeah, we just kind of do our own thing. There's a lot of really good Second Life machinima makers, people way better than me, that are do amazing things with like Premiere Pro and all kinds of graphics and all kinds of cool stuff.
I don't do any socializing really on Second Life at all. That's a little bit more Fee than me. I primarily focus on the avatar building, like character, like what they look like, what they wear, how, all those things. That's kind of like my main focus when I'm on Second Life.
No, I was just gonna say all the voices and stuff that you hear from the people, like Rami's voice, the other voices and stuff that you hear are people that we have either connected with on social media that are involved in Second Life, or like we know through real life connections through like theater and stuff, or like we gamed with them or something like that.
Definitely. I was going to ask about more technical questions and stuff because you did mention Premiere Pro and graphical stuff, and this is purely just for like the aspiring creators who might be listening right now. I was going to ask, what is your kind of technical setup? Obviously, you have Second Life running, but I was kind of curious about if there's obviously what you edit on, and if there's any kind of other programs you use as well in tandem.
Yeah, so I really heavily use Premiere Pro to do most of my editing. In my early years, maybe about a year and a half, maybe a year ago, I was using Camtasia, but it's not really designed for 4K or like high definition video. As far as our setup, we have Gonje would have to tell you the specifics on the two specs, but we have a laptop and we have a big giant desktop, and we do our filming on the big desktop, and then we log in a bunch of avatars on the laptop. And then as far as editing, we're learning how to use Premiere Pro. It's really cool and really advanced. As far as filming Second Life, we were using OBS Studio, but now we use Streamlabs. And I don't know why everybody in the whole world is not using it, because Streamlabs is amazing. So
The main thing is to make sure that when we record, as we're streaming from Second Life, that we are over 30 FPS to get the pixelization that we desire. Because it's pretty much everything is online. Every character is online. There's nothing in house, that we work on for the animation. It's all running live. So we use basically multiple computers to put all the characters in, and then on one computer with the least amount of lag, we do all the recording on.
Well, Derelict's pretty good at Premiere Pro. You could ask him for tips.
No, I don't think anybody needs tips from me. I use Premiere just for a lot of my work, but I mean, it's like my job as well. So it's like I'm as good as Premiere, but like I don't use too much of other stuff. So I really need to kind of get good at learning other stuff as well. Like at the moment, I've been learning a lot of Blender.
ooh, cool.
So, how did you design the aliens in the Nomura show? Because they look really cool.
So those are actually
Those are
not
from my brain.
no, they're actually a head created from a company in Second Life called Bespoke, and they make all kinds of cool fantasy mesh heads. And Second Life allows you to layer like different, colors and textures and stuff, and that's where Ganji comes in and takes over. But it's a bespoke head. Yeah. What are those called, Ganji?
Nameless.
Yep. And we're
Yeah,
calling them
so and they
simulacrum.
actually fit exactly the description I've given them years before they ever made the head. So a lot of it is I'm combing the hundreds and hundreds of stores that exist in Second Life to find those looks that fit what we're looking for.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier on that Critical Role was an inspiration, but were there any other channels or even anything outside of the internet that inspired you when producing either Namara or your other content?
As far as Second Life, Machinima Teela really is a really big inspiration for me. So she was the one that made me go for it in Second Life. And then outside of Second Life, I'm heavily inspired by a lot of the Marvel movies. I like the humor that's built in. And recently, like, I don't know, Dune, I don't know, all the same stuff that everybody else likes, right? Like, I'm a big fantasy buff. I love anything fantasy or sci-fi.
Yeah, for me, I would say anime. Anime is a big inspiration. and outside of the ones that Fee already said, books. I mean, just been
Oh
reading
yeah.
and gaming my entire life. So yeah. But talking about Teal Aurelia, Fee, she showed me. She's like, look at what Second Life can do now, and I went, oh, okay, we can make this happen now. If this is possible, then now we can do our story. So that was kind of an inspiration to say, okay, it's doable.
You think that'll probably lead you to try other things as well? Like, I mean, obviously, you said I think it was the bigger server size or something kind of led you to makes it easier for Machinima to be created on Second Life. But what I'm really asking is, I don't want to ask you to look too far into the future, but when it comes to Namara and stuff like that, do you have any other goals or things you want to do with the channel with Bay City?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to continue to tell the story of Namara, and then really push the boundaries of what's possible in Second Life as far as filming. We have plans for really large scale combat scenes with lots of avatars at the same time. Um, Maybe even like a big concert. I don't want to say too much to give too much away, but yeah, it's going to be cool. And I think we're really looking forward to showing some of the other worlds, some that are not necessarily like medieval and the different flavors in the world. So, yeah, more to come.
Well, I can't
Yeah.
wait to see it.
I noticed in the you had one video that was kind of like a countdown to 2023, and
Mhm.
I think that was one of the more populated videos, at least like in terms of other characters in there. And the one thing I like about Second Life is there's a lot of diversity in avatars and stuff, and I
Yep.
think like if you don't play it and you don't have exposure to that kind of content from Second Life, you wouldn't know. It reminded me a lot of VR chat if you've ever played that.
Yeah, we actually a lot of our residents like pass back and forth. They're in the same space. They're competitors, but same people, same groups. Yeah. I know us second lifers are kind of like the dregs of the gaming world, but it's getting cooler. It's hard to get into, but it can do a lot of cool stuff if you take the time.
For sure. I like any kind of environment that has a kind of its own subculture.
Mhm.
Because when I look at Second Life, you were saying like the dregs. I was thinking about they're kind of like the furries, but I guess the furries
That's
have their own clique there as well.
yeah, we
Furries have
got
their own community in Second Life for
they
sure.
do. Yep, I started as a furry. That was my first avatar in Second Life was a furry, but not in like a sexual way or anything. Just I thought it'd be cool to be like a
Yeah.
bunny. But then whoa, wow, guess what I discovered? Surprise. But yeah. Yeah, there's a community for everything in Second Life,
Is there
good and bad.
is there a community for Bugs Life?
I knew he was gonna say that.
I don't know. I'm gonna look now and find out for you. I have to find out.
You
I'll let you
fire.
know.
Yeah, Flip.
You fired. Yep.
He's gonna get you set up with all the Flick and Hopper fans.
Cool. Cool.
There aren't a lot of them. Bugs Life is a very underrated Pixar movie, and it's the
It's
only classic this Pixar movie not to get a sequel. Like, if you seriously,
Not
it
fair.
should have.
see, look. So, if any Pixar executives are watching this video, listening to this podcast, consider a Bugs Life 2. Preferably not my idea for Bugs Life 2, but
Ah, fuck! I was just about to mention that.
no. When Derelict, we're not mentioning that here. Okay. No.
Flick wrote a very good screenplay for Bugs Life 2.
Yeah.
I guess it's interesting because while we have two guests this time, we're kind of balanced because me and Flick have always done Halo Machinima.
Yeah.
I've always tried to. Well, that's not entirely true. Flick did a lot of almost did Machinima in the Bugs Life PS1 game.
Cool.
Almost.
That was a cool game. I liked that game.
I did VR chat Machinima for one of the retolds.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which one was your
Um,
favorite to do?
Out of the retold videos,
Yeah. Yeah.
either Endgame or the movie.
And John
Cool.
hasn't reacted to any of those ones.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't think of less as someone who didn't want to associate with us.
Who wouldn't want to associate with us? We're cool.
Well, listen, the problem is, Flick, is that we're speaking to a lovely family and we make the least family friendly content on the fucking web.
My show's family friendly.
Your viewers are gonna be like, "What the heck is this?"
My show's family friendly. I don't have any violence. Well, I have violence, but it's video game.
What happened to your YouTube channel, Flick?
Well, I think that's really an interesting point. Like, when me and Fee started this endeavor, especially with Second Life, you can take it to some pretty dark places,
Yeah, you can.
and Second Life is built for that. Um, but as we looked at our daughter, we were like, if we make this, we want her to be able to watch it, and we still think we can build in enough drama and all those things that adults want, but as well as like, hey, like a kid can watch this as well. So
Yep.
that is an interesting point because we made that choice. Like, we don't want to make something that we can't say, hey, you can't watch this. So because in Second Life, you can for sure.
Easily. Probably more easy than
Mhm.
the other way.
That's very commendable. No kid should watch my show.
That's very I think that's a very unfair thing to say, Flick. I think that no one should
You
watch your show.
fucking. Well, no one should watch your show either. Your channel. It's trash.
What's your show, Flick?
Like it's actually garbage. Like seriously.
Flick, he asked you a question.
Oh, what did he say?
I was asking what your show is so I can check it out.
I mean, if you want, it's oneself. It's a. You're talking about a fish out of war. It kind of Booker Code's kind of like that because he joins the world of moderating Halo. So
Sorry, I'll say nothing. I'll be good.
stop laughing. It's not funny. And he has to. Yeah, like you're making me laugh there. Like
Okay. Look.
okay, he's muted. Fine. How about you stay muted for the rest of the episode? Let's actually. Okay, so. So it's oneself. It's about moderating Xbox Live, but what people don't realize is that there's a world-ending device in Halo Reach called the Index, and the Booker thinks he's just signing up for a moderating job, but what he doesn't realize is he has to. Well, hopefully, he has to save the world. So
Nice.
it's got betrayal. It's got love. It's got everything.
It's got everything you could ever want.
Got everything. All right.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yes. So
One thing that's really cool about Flick's show is sorry, Flick. I'll let you finish.
wait, what were you saying?
I was going to say that one thing that's really cool about oneself is that you kind of break a lot of the conventions of Halo Machinima, where Flick mentioned Bug's Life earlier, and have either of you ever watched Red versus Blue?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, so you'll notice that a lot of the content for Halo Machinima is just kind of samey in a lot of places because, like, since Second Life is like a kind of a life sim in some
Mhm.
ways, you can get a variety of animations and stuff, but with Halo, everyone's holding a gun or everyone's doing like a default combat pose, and even with like diverse puppeteering, it's still before you do like animation and stuff like with Monty everything looks just really stilted and stiff. Whereas
Yep.
Flick kind of goes beyond that, where he has brought on animators to do not only fighting sequences but dancing sequences.
What?
He has singing in there,
I know.
like Disney singing. What else does he have? I was going to say that he has textbook racism, but
No,
in his
no, no,
yeah, he doesn't anymore.
No.
But that only because he stopped making episodes.
no. There's my show is not racist, Derelict. Come on.
Okay, it's fine. Flick has a lot of diverse stuff going on in his show,
Yes.
and he does kind of puts a lot of topical issues on the table and kind of draws
Yes.
attention to them. Oh, actually, Flick blended live action with Machinima because he had an Indian gentleman called Gora star in the show, and it really
Mhm.
brings it. Like, there's a lot of it's not, obviously there's diversity, but it's not just diversity in like the people, but diversity in medium. That's what I want to say.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you. That's a very good review, except for the racism bit. Mm-mm. Yeah. So if you want to check out my show, click the link below. It'll be the first link at the top of the description.
There's
Okay.
a fan theory about oneself.
What?
Oh.
They say if you play the episode backwards, you'll get like visions of the devil. Like it's kind of a scary thing. It's like a fan theory, but there's something even scarier where if you play it normally, you'll see oneself.
Okay.
An
Okay.
asshole. You slander my content to every single guest.
What you realize your show is getting all this free promotion, Flick. You should be delighted.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I need every subscriber I can get, guys. I lost my channel because, let's just say, I uploaded a racy video and I got my channel banned. And
Sorry,
no.
what's that? I thought Flick said he did family safe, family friendly content.
I mean, it was unlisted, so it shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have got banned, like seriously. But yeah. So there will be no more content like that on my channel, so you don't have to worry. So please subscribe. I currently only have
Cool.
24 subscribers.
It'd be so funny if you lost subscribers because you said there's going to be no more content like that on your channel. You
How
lose
many-
all 12 of your subs.
Well,
How many subscribers did you have when you lost the channel?
I had 200 something.
Oh, wow. That's so painful. I'm like crawling. I have like 854 on my Feorie Frimon channel, and I have like 24 on the Bay Cities channel. Like painful.
But I'm climbing back up. Sometimes sometimes you fall off the cliff and you've got to get your rock climbing gear on, and you have to start climbing up the cliff again. And yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Just make sure you have someone on belay. That's where you got to have your
That's
support.
Well,
that's right.
I'll have to find someone I trust. I don't trust this Derelict guy. He runs podcast.
I
Yeah.
beg your pudding.
I don't know. I heard he's a pretty cool dude. He does some.
I will say something on
interviews.
kind of a maybe a serious note. Just I think doing any of this on your own would be extraordinarily difficult, and
Yes.
I feel very lucky that I have Fee that when those frustrations happen, like you have someone that's right there that you can just work with, and anyone that does it by themselves, I mean, just hats off to them and the difficulty to work through those difficult times.
I mean, if I could find a girlfriend that would make machinima with me, that would be kind of the dream.
Or a
There you
boyfriend.
Sadly, I kind of got ghosted yesterday, so that's kind of off the table.
Well, you never know what's right around the corner, right?
Well, probably nothing, as always.
There could be machinima love in your future.
No.
He just shoots it down.
Well, I got, we were talking all the time, and then she ghosted me, and now I sent a message, and she hasn't replied back. So, I don't get, if you're, sorry,
Hang in there.
they're like, don't leave us in the podcast.
You said it. Okay, Flick, I'll take it out.
No, you won't. You'll leave it all in. Just leave it in.
Look,
Flick,
So
I know.
So I guess my
Yeah.
question is are y'all available to lend your voices as a cameo at some point in the future?
Oh my god, I would
Yeah.
a cameo. Can I?
Are you
thought you'd
serious?
never
For
ask.
real?
I
Are you for real? Seriously? I'm serious. You have to like really. Are you really serious? Because we need more voices.
yes, I can even do more than one. I can use my normal voice. I've got my slanky dog
Yeah.
voice. This is also another voice
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
I could
Perfect.
I could probably voice one of the aliens in your show.
I love it.
I'm
This
gonna
is
make
the
a bug
second
person. Are you
that's
kidding?
called them aliens.
I'm going
He's
to
the
make a
second
bug
person.
person, and Flick is gonna get to voice the bug person,
Well,
and
There
that
you
way
go.
I'd love to voice the bug
there will
person.
be a Bug's Life type person, and it will be wonderful.
Perfect. Yep.
Who's Derelict gonna voice? He should get like a D tier character. To be honest, he's not a great voice actor.
Well, that's
That's-
the nicest thing you've ever said. I made it up from E category.
I also know some people who might be interested in voicing, so I can
Cool.
I can point them.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
please do.
Send them my way. Please do. For real.
Right now, all we can offer is we'll plug whatever other things they do. So we'll plug your show.
Unless they want Second Life Linden. Otherwise, I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
nothing. Oh.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So I guess one of the things we kind of cover before we wrap up is we think about the next generation of machinima creators coming up, and we kind of kick the ball around and ask, what advice would we give to themselves? And it might even go reflect back to ourselves. When you were starting out, what did you wish you knew, or what advice would you give to yourself when you were starting out?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say that I think the most important thing that you can do as you are practicing is to set a deadline for yourself and to put it someplace that you can come back and look at it.
Hmm.
Because so like when I was for like those first 2 years when I was doing those podcasts and mini machinimas, I would give myself like a 2-week deadline. And like on Friday, that was it. Like you have to post what you made. And if it sucks, and that's what it is. And now I can go back and watch it and go, oh, I would do this differently if I could do that again because I've learned more, because that's really how you learn, right? Like you just keep filming it, just keep film it and then post it and then film something else and post that. And I used to go to clubs in Second Life with like 50 avatars and just res everything in and just film this, film that, film this, film that. And then I would just delete everything when I was done. And that's what I would recommend.
I think for me, to the next generation is nothing's impossible. It's out there. Nothing can hold you back. Don't have fear about your creative art that you want to do. Like there is a way to make it happen. And love your failures. Because they just teach you. And I think those would be like the two big things.
You hear that, Derelict? Love your failures.
Yeah, I love you very much.
Oh, I tolerate you.
Aww.
I
You know,
I tolerate you with all my heart.
you both bring up very good points. Deadlines are important. I know that firsthand. Deadlines can be very good at releasing machinima. And yeah,
Flick has gotten really good at one thing though, and that's kind of promoting himself on different platforms, because
yeah.
he's kind of utilized the YouTube Shorts thing,
Mm-hmm.
where he's kind of
Mm.
taken
Oh,
little
yes.
bites out of each episode of oneself and put them up.
Yep.
So he's kind of reaching the shorter audience at the moment now.
That's always a good.
Cool.
That's always a good. You should cut up your things into shorts. That expands your audience.
Yeah. Yeah, shorts are pretty cool. I haven't gotten to delve in them much on the Bay City website, but that's good to know. I'll play with them more then.
And Flick kind of turned me over to TikTok a little bit, because I'm far too boomered to give TikTok any of my time. But he got some decent views and stuff on that way back when.
Cool.
So I started like popping my stuff up there, and I think with the way TikTok's algorithm work is your earliest stuff will just get like an insane boost with the algorithm, and then it kind
Cool.
of plateaus. But yeah,
Yeah,
TikTok
everything
is.
of mine just gets 200 views now.
Hmm.
It's kind of sad, actually. You know,
I know.
I mean, it's been.
Twitter's my big one.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Twitter's good.
Yeah,
X.
Twitter's my
I've
big
heard
guy. Yeah, X.
Derelict's a big name on Twitter.
No, I'm not. I'm literally
Really?
not.
Are we not friends? I have to go follow you now.
Oh yeah, sure. I follow everybody except Flick.
Yeah,
Except Flick.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to know about the next Pixar film.
Well, I got I haven't touched Twitter ever since I got impersonated, and I had a troll just sending really nasty stuff to one of my heroes over and over again. So, well, if there's one piece of advice I would give is, don't deal with your trolls. Don't let them escalate.
How do you deal with a troll when you get one?
Well, just try not to interact with them, because if you interact with them, that feeds them. It's like, don't feed the troll.
Yeah, that's true. I just usually mute them or ban them. I don't
Yeah,
even
like
go.
for me, this is not Clockwork Orange. I'm not strapping you to a chair to make you watch my video. You push watch it. Like it's up to you. If you don't like
Yeah,
it, don't
man.
watch it.
Yeah. It could be Clockwork Orange, though. We could make people do that.
Oh.
Subscribe or else.
Flick should definitely do machinima version of Clockwork Orange. That would be so awesome.
I've never seen Clockwork Orange.
Oh, Blake, we can make a Halo machinima about your love life, and we'll call it a Cookwork Orange.
I've
You get it, Flick?
no, I don't get it. I don't like it.
Okay, fine.
I've technically never been cooked before either.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. Our audience was really interested in hearing about that one.
So many questions. He said technically too. We'll save this one for another day.
Well, yeah, well, she might have cooked me, but I don't know.
Look, Flick, it's like they said, you never know what's around the corner. Now, I know what's around the corner for you. It's Tesco. But around the corner from Tesco, there might be something good, you know?
Well, actually, I don't actually live near Tesco. I live kind of close to Lidl, actually.
Oh, God, the worst of the two.
I mean, Lidl makes really nice. They make really nice meal deals, and they have really nice onion rings. So,
Aldi's better.
well, actually, Aldi has very nice meal deals, so I don't mind visiting
Shout out to
Aldi.
our sponsor, Aldi, by the way.
I don't mind. I'd say, Asda has actually the best meal deal, but I don't live near an Asda, so I can't really get a meal deal from
Josh,
there.
thanks for listening to MachiniphobiC episode 10. Flick, do you have a song ready for the outro?
No, but I can improvise one.
Oh yeah, improvise it.
Okay.
I'll give you a beat. There.
Okay. Okay. Just cut the silent bit out. I'll get the song up. Okay. Here we go. Put your faith in what you most believe in. Making machinima in Second Life. Yes, let's go. We're making machinima. Oh, let's build a Second Life machinima. Let's hire voice actors and help to and those that need you. We'll get lots of computers to get lots of people, and we'll just cut the song. The song shit. Okay, that's the end of MachiniphobiC, guys.
Thank you to Feorie, Frimon,
Yep.
and Gonje for joining us today. All their links will be down in the description. Please give them a subscribe, a follow, and give them your time.
Yeah.
This was MachiniphobiC, and okay, Flick, fine. Do you want to say you can say have the last say?
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ! Yes.
Okay. This is MachiniphobiC. Bye, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.